What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com and thelines.com. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Sunday night football, Patriots at Ravens, the game everybody has been talking about all week long. Looking forward to this one, no doubt about it. While you're here, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Everything's free as always. Everything's free on lines.com, playpicks.com, everything. So you'll be the first to know about everything that goes on with everything that we're doing at the sites over there. And also, please give us a thumbs up on this video and let us know in the comments how you are playing this game. Certainly want to know how you are going about it here. So let's go ahead and start off taking a look at the lines in this thing here, going over Patriots sitting at 344.5, 157 on the money line at DraftKings. Over here on FanDuel, 162, 44.5 over here on FanDuel. So this was DraftKings actually at first and then FanDuel. Second time looking here at 115, you can see the juice on the Patriots here. So this thing could, by kickoff, move to 3.5. Probably some Patriots money still yet to come in this thing. If you want to take a look at how this thing is broken down here over the course of when it opened to now, you can see this thing opened at 5 at DraftKings and was all the way down to 3. And this kind of bobbed back and forth between 3.5 and 3. But you can see immediately bought all the way down to 3 in the same day that it opened here. So you can see the timeline there, and then has just ping-ponged back and forth between 3 and 3.5. As far as the total, opened at 46 and now down to 44.5, where you see it right now. So let's talk a little bit about this thing here, guys. The weather, mid-40s, no wind, no chance of rain. Good football weather for us here. Nothing to worry about there. Patriots 8-0 overall, 6-2 against the spread. And really, I mean, this team just continues to keep on winning. I mean, that's what else can we say? Browns statistically should have had a little bit more success against the Patriots last week, but you know, Bill Belichick, Patriots, they do what they do, and that wasn't the case here. Ravens 5-2 overall, 2-5 against the spread. They are coming off of their bye week this week. They are getting healthier as well. Injuries on the Patriot side of the ball: Rex Burkhead, Patrick Chung, James White, Shaq Mason, all questionable. They are going to get back their first round draft pick, wide receiver N'Keal Harry. He is able to come back off of IR, and they did activate him, so he will be back with the team this week. Ravens, Hollywood Brown, questionable, but on the good side of questionable, he's likely to play here. Coming off the bye, that ankle should be good to go here. And the Ravens get back Jimmy Smith as well this week, which is big for them. Of course, their number one corner. Now, will he step right in and be Jimmy Smith right off the bat? First game back, that is yet to be determined, but to have him out there is certainly good. Have him in the locker room. Anyway, of course, you can come to get the full breakdown here if you go to NFL and click on either all the standalone games, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, but click on SNF for the game tonight. Of course, you can go over to Play Picks as well, and you can read the breakdown, and I'll go ahead and sit here and give you a look at how Eston thinks that this game might break down if you want to read along. Patriots offense averaging 31.3 points per game, 382.4 yards per game, 5.2 yards per play. Not the best yards per play. Passing the ball 58.1% of the time, 19th graded pass blocking unit by Pro Football Focus, but number 12 rated pass offense overall by DVOA. 16th rated run blocking unit according to Pro Football Focus. They are converting 39.8% of their third downs so far this year. The Ravens, on the other hand, averaging 30.6 points per game, 447.7 yards per game. They lead the league in rushing, league high 204.1 rush yards per game, 6.1 yards per play. They're actually rushing the ball 52% of the time. So unlike most teams in the NFL these days where it's, pass first, they're actually running 52% of the time. They have the best pass blocking grade in the league. According to Pro Football Focus, 17th pass offense, though, overall DVOA. 7th graded run blocking unit, according to Pro Football Focus, the number 1 ranked rush team in the NFL DVOA. And of course, as we mentioned, the statistics back that up as well. They are converting 47% of their third downs. If we're looking at the pace of this game and how you think this thing might play out, it's kind of a different, kind of weird how this is all work out when you look at the underlying stats here. So these teams actually lead the league. Both of these teams are like at the top of the league in plays per game, but they're ball hogs as well, and that just kind of like lends itself to having more plays. So if you look a little bit deeper into like plays per second, it actually is on the other end of the spectrum. Patriots are 20th in the league in plays per second. The Ravens 26th in the league in plays per second. So not actually fast teams, despite the fact that they run a whole lot of plays. It's just they're just ball hogs, right? They don't give the ball up a ton. Patriots defense in this thing, and I will continue to roll on if you want to take a look here. Patriots defense allowing 7.6 points per game. That's real life. They are only allowing 7.6 points per game, 260.6 yards per game. Number 1 rated defense by Pro Football Focus, number 6 rated pass rush, number 1 rated coverage grade, number 1 defense overall DVOA, number 2 ranked pass defense DVOA, and number 8 ranked rush defense DVOA. So you can see this team has just been unbelievable. How about this statistic? Their opponents' schedule, I understand, has been a bit soft, but still, this stat is just crazy. Opponents are converting 14.2% of third downs. Only 14.2% of third downs. They are only gaining 4.1 yards per play against this Patriots defense. Truly has been elite, no doubt about it. I'll flip back over on to this one if you want to kind of read along here and see what's going down with this one. Ravens defense allowing 22.3 points per game, allowing 360.6 yards per game. Number 18 rated defense overall by Pro Football Focus, 27th in pass rush, 14th in coverage grade, number 18th ranked defense overall by DVOA. They're the 13th ranked pass defense DVOA. Opponents are actually completing 59% of their passes against this defense so far this year. They are giving up 276 yards through the air per game. Again, do get Jimmy Smith back. That should be better for this team. They did trade for Marcus Peters as well. So these are the season-long stats here. And certainly this should come down a little bit here, but just to give you kind of an overall picture of this team here, number 21 ranked rush defense DVOA as a whole, they're actually giving up 6.1 yards per play, a full 2 yards more than what the Patriots defense gives up. All right, so let's get over here and make a case for the under in this thing if we wanted to play it. I think we're at 44.5 at both places, so it doesn't really matter where you go if you want to take the under in this thing. First and foremost, Ravens are one of the most run-heavy teams in the league, right? And so as we know that, if you like to run, we just mentioned they run the ball 52% of the time. So if you like to run, if you have success doing it, tick, 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 the clock keeps moving. And of course, if there's fewer opportunities, fewer possessions for each team, then fewer opportunities to score that could keep this game under. Secondly, the run game is actually how the Ravens should attack this Patriots team. Of course, we just talked about their coverage grade, way up there. Pass rush, way up there. So we know that this pass coverage unit here is the strength of this defense even more than the rush defense. So the Ravens should play to their strength and should go at what would be the weakness, if there is a weakness, of this Patriots defense, which would be the run side of things. Thirdly, we're talking about two of the slower pace teams in the league here. As we mentioned, they do run they do run many more plays than their opponents, but again, that's just because they're actually had some pretty good success so far. But when you look at seconds per play, they're actually in the bottom third of the league when it comes to seconds per play in the league. So with these two teams, that could also keep this game under because both of them want to play fairly deliberately. And you'd also like to think if you're the Ravens, you know, one of your best offenses can be defense of keeping Tom Brady off the field, right? And keeping this team off of the field here because this Ravens defense is not the Ravens defense of old. They give up a lot of yards and give up a lot of points. So one of the things you could definitely do here is try and play slower to keep that team on the sideline. Case for the over here is pretty simple. I mean, we have two really good teams and two really good coaches, right? And so maybe Harbaugh has come up with a game plan to where he can move the ball against this Patriots defense, despite the fact that it's as good as it is. And you know, Belichick and his crew is going to have something in store for this Ravens defense. It's actually one of the worst in the league, specifically in pass coverage. And so, you know, this game could just turn into one of those games where they kind of trade scores back and forth. Now, I don't think this is going to get like crazy. I don't think there'll be 60 points scored in this thing or anything like that. But could this easily be, you know, is it crazy to think of this game being 28-20, 28-21, something like that? I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility at all here. This is the best offense that the Patriots have played this year by far. And of course, we know that this Ravens defense gives up yards and points. And so I don't see any reason that you would think that the Patriots are just going to suddenly come to town and they're not going to be giving up yards and points to this Patriots team as well. So I expect both teams to find a little bit of success in this thing. And that could be the case kind of for the over in this deal. As far as player props, I did find one that I think is pretty interesting here that I got on, and wouldn't hate it if you got on it as well. If we come down here to total receptions, Julian Edelman is sitting at 5.5 here. Julian Edelman has 6 or more receptions in 6 of the 8 games that the Patriots have played so far this year. And one of the 2 that he didn't is when they were beating the Miami Dolphins. They were beating the Dolphins' brains in and ended up winning the game 43-0. So they just didn't need him any further in that game. He still had 4 catches in that game. He just didn't have the 6. But so really only one game this year that was a competitive game where Julian Edelman did not have 6 catches. We know that he's a security blanket for Tom Brady. We know how this works. No Gronk anymore. He's looking to Julian Edelman. So I really do like the over 5.5 on receptions here. Marquise Brown, as we mentioned too, just something to consider. I mean, you're getting plus money here. If he's back, I mean, this was before he got injured. He was definitely the second in the pecking order there for Lamar Jackson. He tends to look at Mark Andrews more. He tends to look at the tight end position a little bit more. But Andrews has been dropping some balls, has been not very consistent for Lamar Jackson. If Marquise Brown's back in there, I mean, getting plus money for him to have catch 3 balls, I think that's pretty good. And of course, if you think that if there's any way that you think that this game gets out of hand and you think that the Patriots are going to like get up real big in this game, then if the Ravens have to completely abandon the run and have to just go to passing, and then this would be certainly a correlated play to how you figured that this game is going to play out here, because Marquise Brown is certainly going to catch more than 3 if they have to, let's say, midway through the third quarter, kind of get rid of the run game here because they're down, whatever it might be, 17-20, something along those lines. So if you think that that's how this game could play out, then you would certainly want to pound the over on Brown for catches as well, for sure there. All right, so let's talk about the side and the total in this game and how we are going to go about playing it here. We remember how this thing opened up here, and we talked about it at the top of the vid. Opened at 5, immediately bet down all the way to 3. We've seen this thing toggle back and forth between 3.5 and 3. Let's talk about the total first. And for me, I think this is about right. That being said, if this thing were to creep up, and what we've seen, if you've been betting for any amount of time, you know that these standalone games, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, a lot of casual action gets involved. And when that casual action gets involved, the totals tend to trickle up because people like to bet the overs. The casual fan doesn't like to bet for no points to be scored. So they always go in and typically, 2 out of every 3 tickets is going to be on the over from the casual bettor there. So, should this thing trickle up a little bit further, I might look at an underplay here, but it's a pass for me right now. I think that this total sat about right where it is right now. This thing gets up maybe another point and a half, something like that. If that could possibly be the case at all, then maybe I would look at an underplay in this thing. So let's talk about how the spread here. Of course, we're sitting at 3 right now. You can talk about the Patriots soft schedule, I think all you want to here, but the Ravens really hadn't played Murderer's Row either. If you look at the 2 good teams they played, they lost to the Chiefs and the Browns, and you don't even really consider the Browns to be a good team. I guess they do have a good win at Seattle. So I guess they've played 2.5 good teams, the Chiefs being a good team, Seattle being a good team, the Browns being kind of half a good team. But they lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Browns. They almost lost at home to the Cardinals and the Bengals. I mean, 2 of the bottom feeders in the league that almost lost at home to both of those teams. The Patriots and rushing quarterbacks, we do know that this is well documented, that they've struggled a little bit with some of these rushing quarterbacks over the years. But I think Bill Belichick's pretty much well aware of what Lamar Jackson brings to the table and his limitations in the passing game. He has gotten much, much better in season 2 here than he was in season 1. But I don't think that necessarily makes this where he's going to be able to just air it out against this number 1 graded Patriots defense or anything like that. So I think that there will be I think that there will be a plan in place to try and neutralize whatever that might be, whether it's a spy running much more zone than the Patriots are used to doing, whatever it might be. I do believe that there will be a plan in place to limit Lamar Jackson and his legs. The Patriots rush defense as a whole, maybe a little bit of a question mark after last week. You did see Nick Chubb go out and rush for over 130 yards against these guys, but the Browns are a more well-rounded offense than the Ravens are. So, you have to account for Odell Beckham. You have to account for Jarvis Landry. Baker Mayfield, while not head and shoulders above Lamar Jackson, is definitely a more talented passer. So more to account for in that Browns. So I'm not really chalking it up that that this rush defense is actually a real true liability for this Patriots team at all. Ravens' lack of pass rush, and we mentioned that they are just one of the teams that just don't really get after the quarterback at all. And I think that really plays into the Patriots' favor here. Tom Brady, all his experience, as calm as he is in the pocket, how he's able to feel any sort of pressure should they ever even get there, but it doesn't look like they will. I think that really plays an advantage of the Patriots here. And I think you cannot discount what this Patriots defense brings to this game as well. Now, listen, I understand the competition thing. They can only play who's on their schedule, right? So we can't keep going back to that over and over again. They lead the league in sacks. They lead the league in interceptions. We know Bill Belichick has done this year after year against really, really good teams. So it's not like that. It's just because it's not just this year out of the blue that this team is having a good year. Bill Belichick and his staff have done this time after time after time. I'm going to back the Patriots at -3 here. If you already have the hook in your account at 3.5 or 4 where this thing was on the Ravens side, I don't blame you. I don't hate it, to be perfectly honest with you. I kind of feel more like, though, if I was going to bet the Ravens side, I'd probably just bet the money line. Doesn't this feel more like a game where if the Ravens are going to be competitive, they're just going to win the game outright? And if not, then it's probably going to be the Patriots winning this thing pretty big. I mean, isn't this either the trip up spot for the Patriots, or they just continue on with their business here? I mean, that tends to be how I view this game here. And for me, I think the Patriots probably just continue to handle their business. I think that they will look at a way to neutralize Lamar Jackson and have to make him try and beat them with his arm. And if that's the case, I don't think he's got enough talent. I don't think he's got enough people around him to get that done. Now, this Ravens team is young. They're going to be really, really good for years to come. But this Patriots defense could end up being one of the all-timers if things keep going the way that they are. And I just don't think that this is the situation for this team here. You're going to hear up until kickoff, Ravens of the play, Ravens of the play, Ravens of the play. Listen, I understand the people in the bubble, in the sports betting realm, they're always looking to pick against the Patriots. They're always looking for it to be the trip up spot. And you know what? This very well could be it. Sooner or later, it is going to be the trip up spot. Sooner or later, they're going to be right. But I'm not going to bank on it being this week. So I'm on Patriots -3. Should this thing get back to 3.5, maybe it's a layoff for you guys. I got on it on 3. If you don't want to play with that hook, I can completely understand that. I know it's a little bit scary, and I would not blame you one bit for that at all. All right, guys. So appreciate you watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel. As we mentioned, please like this video, and please let us know in the comments how you are playing this game tonight. Regardless, even if you want to sit off and just just watch this game, should be super, super fun. Should be a ton of fun watching this thing. And of course, as always, all the content over on the lines and play picks, absolutely free. And if you're over in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or any of these legal markets, be sure and head to the lines and play picks and just take advantage of these free sports betting offers, sportsbook offers. If you're going to sign up, you might as well take their money or take their offers, because that's any plus EV we can get on the sportsbook is certainly good for us. Appreciate you watching, guys. We'll talk to you guys Monday night.